Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to LCK Summer 2020. I'm Atlas. I am joined by LS, and today needs a little bit of a disclaimer. Things are going to be a little bit more difficult for the two of us after what has happened earlier. I think the loss of Recall has affected a lot of us. And, you know, the internet can be a mean place, but it can also be a place where we can come together. And let's try and come together today with the LCK and just try and move through it.
Yep. Well, we have a match on our hands that is about to get underway.
Indeed. We're going to be starting off with KT versus SeolHaeOne Prince. Both of these teams not necessarily finding too much success in the first couple of weeks here of the LCK, but, you know, now up against one another, definitely better opportunities than some of the Titans that we've seen really reign supreme here in the LCK. And we're going to start off with points of the match as if they were twins. What happens when two teams with the same previous and remaining opponents clash?
Well, this is it's a very important match for both of these two teams because SeolHaeOne is really looking to try to reaffirm that they can be a middle upper pack team, whereas KT are really looking to get back in stride. The duel between the two 1 and 3 teams, KT needs to stop receding and start moving forward, versus SP needs to build momentum like their team atmosphere. And then Spring Split's true slow starter. KT got 8 straight wins. That was the really big turnaround moment.
Yeah.
And I think that SP, they had a lot of surprising moments, especially towards the end. And at the very bottom here, 28...
This is my favorite one.
Collective years of professional career under these veterans, top mid duos. Former Rocks duo Smeb and Kuro versus Ixu and Mickey.
Yeah, and of course Anarchy does refer to a Freak of Freaks, the team that they were beforehand, Rebels Anarchy. And so yes, it is certainly a long time ago that both of these solo lane duos have been playing on the Rift. But things have definitely changed since then for both of them, and it was for better in some years and it was for worse in others. So we'll see whether it's going to be Ixu and Mickey rolling their dice and getting some double sixes, or whether it's going to be Smeb and Kuro actually controlling the Rift here today with Smeb's amazing flanks that he can still do. The laning phase has taken a bit of a hit for Smeb so far in Summer, but still, he is that team fighting god that we know him for. And APK Prince, certainly pretty good at the early games still.
Well, we take a look at the team stats here. First blood percent, SeolHaeOne Prince is second in the league with 70%. Herald percentage, both of these teams, well, I guess fourth is pretty good. 50% of the time they end up getting the Rift Herald.
That means that they get Shelly every game, or Shirley every game, you know?
Yeah.
They get one of them.
In Dragon percent, KT not having the best of times around that statistic, 10th.
I mean, both of them are under 50% at the moment, so I think we're going to improve that stat for at least one of these teams here today, unless we're just going to see the Dragons ignored. As we're going to start off with the KT Rolster roster. Didn't really intend for that to be an alliteration, but Tucson, Aiming, Kuro, Bono, and Smeb will remain your KT roster that you've come to know and love. And we'll see whether they're going to reign supreme over the mad scientists over on SeolHaeOne Prince, especially since adding Mickey. I never really know what to expect when it comes to this team.
I think the game one is really going to be a foreshadowing of what we can expect in this series. Ixu is going to have the counter pick available to him on the red side. Mickey in there in mid lane also has options to have that available to him as well. I'm curious if Ixu is going to bring out any crazy picks. Obviously, Hybrid and Secret down there in the bottom lane. Hybrid known to turn it up in the later stages.
It's actually really interesting because they were talking about the fact that these two teams are very similar in how they've been playing. Of course, Aiming has been performing better than Hybrid so far this season, but the spring season was all about Hybrid really coming into his own, blossoming as a new player for this squad. And this might be an opportunity to turn it around because he's going to need to really turn it around. He went from being a prodigy in the last season to certainly not finding the stats that Hybrid was known for when he debuted for this team in the LCK. And Aiming gone from strength to strength, to be honest. Is Ezreal still very, very good? We saw him in the opening for the LCK for Summer 2020. It's super cool, but he was wearing Ezreal's gauntlet, and he's wearing it for a reason.
So one of the stats or things I talked about yesterday with Valdez is when you have a player that is on one of the most losing teams, but has the best stats.
Yeah.
That is always an indicator that you can expect good things, at least out of them. KDA may not be the highest, but aiming is so good in so many other areas. And Hybrid, while he is experiencing some difficulty, he was the real hero turnaround in spring for SP. So we'll see what aiming is going to be able to manage to do for his team here today.
And these are two teams that are built on strong bottom lanes as well. I think even Secret was stepping up his performance to what we'd seen of him in when he was on previous teams, etc., etc. But at the top side of the map is where things tend to go wrong, and in the jungle is where Bono and Flawless have certainly been struggling when it comes to getting things together. So we'll see whether these solo lanes are going to have an easier time against their opposition, and which one has the more problems. Because, you know, Smeb debuts and gets solo killed in lane and really struggles and does show us that he can have those amazing flanking plays, but also showed us that sometimes it's just not enough to be really good at that team play, and you're going to need to be able to do more. Kuro, though, has been impressive, and so we'll see whether KT are going to be able to use this as a springboard for the rest of the season and maybe make that run that they made in spring to get back to that 5th place that they were able to lock down.
Well, here we go. We're going to go into the pick ban.
Yeah.
And let's see what kind of craziness can maybe unfold. We'll see if Alawi continues to get banned.
Yeah, we'll see whether KT are going to ban that one on blue side. A little bit more flexibility as far as bans are concerned if you do go for that one. But the Yuumi is going to be taken away first, and we're not going to be leaving any Varuses open this time around. As Kalista taken away from Hybrid as well is interesting. Aiming, pretty good Kalista player himself, but not going to be dealing with that in this game.
And Karma getting taken off the table right now.
And SeolHaeOne Prince are playing with fire if they're going to leave the Ezreal available. I think that is likely a mistake, but what they're walking into is a trade. So maybe the idea is to ban Set or something like that and allow SeolHaeOne Prince to get at least one of Aphelios or Ezreal. Still don't know whether it's a gamble that you'd ever want to take against Aiming's Ezreal. But might be one that they're going to have to go for. This is one of those teams, we were talking about this, especially in week 1, where, you know, you leave up Ezreal and Aphelios. Aphelios tends to win, as that's just going to be a ban left open. That's one way to guarantee you get either of them. Very interesting. And I would be very shocked if this wasn't an Ezreal lock-in.
Well, it is taken away. Aphelios is open, but if you draft Aphelios, the opponents can sort of layer against you.
And his best friend on the bottom side has been banned away from KT as well. So they obviously had a different plan. Tucson probably with some different options, but SeolHaeOne Prince, this is not really lending itself to success. Do you know the win rate for Kai'Sa at the moment in LCK?
I do not.
It's a big fat donut.
Okay.
Yep, that's a 0.
The problem with Kai'Sa is that she needs more information typically before she comes online. Now she's pairing with a Twisted Fate, so I guess that's a lot of very big backline access. Mickey also no stranger to Twisted Fate, but Kai'Sa can definitely have problems if there is a strong enough phalanx that the enemy team can really hold together. But also, just if there's enough healing, it's very hard for her to do her backline assassination. And then she's reduced to trying to tear through the front line, but she does it less effective than a traditional hyper.
Yeah.
So it's a bit peculiar to see her come out so early in the drop phase. Now, there is a Tahm Kench, though, so this is very abusable by SP. Orianna coming in. Not a very big surprise.
Yep, Kuro going back to his old utility ways. I don't mind the Tahm Kench in this comp when you see a Twisted Fate, though. It does work very well into a yellow card. unless he's going to use it on the Tahm Kench himself, but you're probably pretty happy that your Tahm is being targeted instead of one of your carries. Might be an opportunity there, as this is an old combo if Kai'Sa Rakan are going to come in, but that is yeah, but it's old because these two champions used to be very different when it came to power level. And I don't know whether this is necessarily going to work out. But a lot of agency now given over to Secret, and we'll see whether he's going to put on a performance much like Effort was able to on T1 to secure a win here for SeolHaeOne Prince. But I'm in your camp at this point in time. LS, I'm a little bit worried after these champions have been picked up. TF, strong in his own right. That bottom lane, yeah, we'll see.
Well, ban cards now coming out. Lee Song is going to get removed, which is a little surprising. Champion, if you go and look at all of the instances where the champion won, it almost has nothing to do with Lee Sin in any of them whatsoever. There is the Alawi ban.
Yeah, I mean, we'd prefer to see her on the Rift, but it's good that KT have taken that option away from Ixu. It's intelligent, even if it is anti-fun. As the Olaf is going to be taken away as well. I don't really like KT's comp at this point in time as an Olaf comp, but it's Bono, so you're probably going to ban that. Lee Sin, Olaf, the first two off his rank. Next one is generally the Jarvan, and from there, something like a Rek'Sai that you definitely would be raising some eyebrows to, as we have in the past. Final ban here for KT is going to be the Wukong. Now we'll see whether Ixu is going to go back to the Volley Bear that he tried and didn't quite find success with the first time he was available. Whether he's going to go for an Ornn, something like that. Trundle hasn't been picked at all. So I feel like SeolHaeOne Prince probably will look at that one. And there it is. I can't believe we didn't notice. Normally he's first picked, right? If he's not banned. So I just forgot that Trundle existed. But there it is.
Nidalee is one of the current... Okay, well, can't have nice things in life.
No.
As Renekton, the B4, B5 Renekton, and now, the Nidalee that has no real synergy with the mid laner. Enemy team comp also highly mobile.
I mean, all of the animals start with C. Cats, crocodiles, and catfish.
Okay.
See?
Isn't Rakan a bird?
No, that's on SP side. I'm talking about KT side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
As that's a Kled that they're looking at, but Ornn would make a little bit more sense here for Ixu.
Ornn gives them a lot more power in the later stages of the game, and honestly, KT's team composition is very worrisome. They can't really go the distance without aiming just becoming a superhero.
Yeah. And
with Renekton being the only synergy for Orianna's ultimate, it means that a lot more pressure is put on Kuro in order to find openings. Now, the one downside is obviously the Rakan and the Trundle aren't really doing a whole lot against the KT team comp, but there are a couple of good things going for SP. I mean, if Twisted Fate can actually get a Rabadon's Death Crown as third item or something like that, that would be massive for him. Kai'Sa is not really an ornament champion, though. Neither is Trundle, neither is Rakan. So the Ornn,
that's a yikes.
outside of TF, Zanya's. That's what she gets.
Is that really what she gets? You can go the old AD variety and pick up a Molten Edge, but it doesn't feel great. You're exactly right there. Well, unless we're going to see another one of these Sarita Dirk style Kaisers that allow her to get to some of her evolutions at timings that you would otherwise not be able to with other such builds. Not entirely sure how Hybrid's going to go there. It does allow you to have a bit more power in the early game, but then you could have a Wraith Blade, is I guess my theory. Don't think it's ever good, but an option. And it's purple. She's purple. Might help.
Well,
don't know. I'm clutching at straws here, just a little bit.
Honestly, it's totally...
I ran out. I'm over at the, the aisle where you've got your coffee and then there's supposed to be like straws and mul tissue here in Korea, but it would be, a wet towelette. A moist towelette is what they say.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was only ever at KFC in Australia. We don't need to talk about that. Let's have a look at what's actually happening here in this game. As Bono has found Flawless, and he's got one of the old Nidalee skins. I respect this.
That Trundle skin looks pretty baller, though.
Yeah.
That looks like Arthas for some reason. It looks like Lich King in a weird
does.
way. Or maybe not Lich King, maybe just a Death Knight or something. With
We needed Mordekaiser in the game for like the true Lich King, and then you've got you know, his Death Knight followers.
Yeah.
Because Mickey has the right skin for that as well, you know.
Yeah.
Underworld TF was definitely a little bit Death Knighty. It's got like the green undead eyes, you know.
Yeah.
Perfection.
Well, this is going to be a bit of an interesting game. The other thing that's confusing is I don't know how KT actually contests for Dragons, realistically. Even though Nidalee outpaces Trundle, Twisted Fate can basically turn things into his favor anytime, at least early on. And then bot lane, we'll see what Hybrid and Secret managed to end up doing, but lots of pressure on Bono, and Bono's one of the biggest sinners that we have here in the LCK, so seeing him on Nidalee is going to be very interesting.
And he's also had a bit of a rough season so far here in 2020 Summer, so see whether this is going to be the bounce back. This Hybrid's going to take a Mystic Shot to the face. One of the ways that I see KT winning fights is, you know, Tucson gobbling up a Crocodile and throwing him into the backline. Could be an opportunity to try and get Smeb in there and actually affect this one. But you look at this matchup and I see inevitability. And it's a bit of a worry for Smeb on this Renekton.
You said that, and that orange skin looks like Thanos.
It does a little bit.
When I thought, you know, the I am inevitable.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Hey, Smeb's win rate on the Renekton's pretty good, though.
Yeah.
We'll see whether he can utilize Mastery.
Yeah, it looks like he's getting the better edge of the matchup currently up here in top lane. And interestingly, I mean, Kuro maintaining a pretty good amount of control.
This is actually very impressive. As these are the amount of games, or the times that these players have started, I believe, when they were playing together. So,
wow,
it's a lot.
Yeah,
definitely. There's a lot of pedigree with both Mickey and Ixu and Smeb and Kuro. I don't know how many of our viewers were watching when the Rocks Tigers were in their heyday. So it was quite some time ago now. It's going on 5 years. I think they certainly stole the hearts of so many fans when it felt like everyone was an SKT fan.
I still have well, I have two actually jerseys that they gave me. One of them I never used. They gave it to me. It was one of their reserve jerseys at the semifinal.
Oh wow!
At Madison Square Garden. So.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's yeah, it's a nice one. I actually looked at it today before I came here because I just placed the new Afrika jersey they gave us yesterday.
I think I'm getting mine today because I wasn't in yesterday.
I'm going to take it.
But I haven't got it yet, so maybe I'm... Did you just take it? You
no,
just got two at home now?
I'm going to take it now.
Oh, thanks, man.
Not a big deal.
All right.
Likely stolen.
As long as you, like, put it up on your wall and you treat it with respect, I'll be happy, you know? That's fine.
Oh, well, Ixu getting slammed in the trade. What?
Oh, that was no sarcasm?
Why?
I'm just thinking that I don't know whether that damage really means all that much. That's all. I don't know.
All right.
The old on into Renekton. As you can see, the CS is certainly in favor of Smeb, and this matchup will go Renekton favored for the earlier stages. But like we were talking about, Thanos eventually will snap his fingers and give all of his team a whole bunch of cool stuff.
The really cool thing is that for KT, they're actually finding a very big victory in a lane where it shouldn't happen. However, on the flip side, you have a Nidalee going even with Trundle. So there's definitely some issues.
Yeah, that could
that
be
are
rough.
present. Yeah. Aiming in Tushin. They already came off the reset.
Aiming doing a lot of work, actually.
Yeah.
I feel like when Aiming trades on Ezreal, he just finds extra ways to do damage in a lot of cases. He's very impressive on this champion. And that means a lot coming from a region that has a lot of very good Ezreal players.
Yeah.
So it's popping off on it very recently. TRX still very, very scary here in the LCK. Smeb back up above half health. He's only about a wave or so in the lead as Kuro's going to have to blow his flash in mid lane.
Yeah.
And Kuro's
no
cleanse
spellbook.
is off cooldown.
No, it's not.
On cooldown.
Yeah, it's on cooldown.
Yeah, it's on cooldown.
I thought you were lost sight for a second.
Yeah, well, I think maybe I was.
Yeah.
But it's going to be back again real soon. So
Cloud Dragon Cloud Dragon coming up as first Drake of the game. Not super impactful, really, for a lot of these champions. One would argue that 10% CDR for TF.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Bono going to be caught out. Does still have his flash available.
Wait,
as he decides to go aggressive. Pops his way out. Good gold card there from Mickey, but he's very low as the spear is going to go wide. Now Smeb's just going to take a Rift Scuttler. And everything's going to be okay. But like you were talking about, KT, they do have to win in the early game, but they are winning in the early game.
Yeah.
So that is good news.
So Smeb actually got that. Now the thing is that Mickey has teleport, and when he comes back from this reset, it's very awkward for Kuro because he's stuck in lane without any mana, and what might end up happening is that he has to be given the blue buff in order to sustain through this. We have a little bit of loss to Shopkeeper currently up there in top lane. Bombies. Oh,
that's
a
nice
great trade.
Yeah, double knocker. Exhaust used on Secret. Does take a lot of damage back there in the end, but that's a good sign. The SeolHaeOne Prince's bottom side. Bono's going to come in, see whether he can do anything to help. Ooh. Yeah, aiming, not finding the best end of that trade.
Yep. The call also for Hybrid. Very nice pickup. And now Destiny Gate available on Mickey. Where can they manage to find openings? As that was a cannon minion that just went into the void. So even if Kuro and Mickey seem like they're even on CS, I mean, that cannon is, you know, don't underappreciate it, as well as the EXP. Because Mickey's already at level 7. Kuro, we'll see where he's at the very end of this wave, but Mickey's been in it for a little while. Oh, man.
Okay, Flawless down very low. Bono's is going to steal it away and grabs the Trundle. Mickey now looking for that gold card. Will find it, but yeah, this is an absolute disaster for SeolHaeOne Prince. And KT already stealing away 2 kills. Ixu having to run and blew his teleport. I don't think anything could have gone worse.
Yeah, I think that was the opposite of flawless. I think that was definitely a bit of a disaster, if I do say so myself. And it was no secret that now SP are in a pretty unfortunate spot.
Yeah, Flawless is going to steal away that blue buff, though. Yeah. So there's one thing back in their favor.
Yeah, he managed to win the smite that didn't matter.
Although one could argue that Cloud Drake isn't the most vital, but I think losing your jungler here is a huge deal.
Yeah, so, and I mean, yeah, he even emoted, I think, thinking that he got it, which is very interesting, the Pengu.
Yep.
And then no clue what Secret was really doing. It was a really good Ornn ultimate.
나 들어가 볼게 이거. 맞을래? 달피가도 이거? 맞아.
Come with me, come with me, come with me.
Oh, that was actually so clean.
Nice.
볼 수 있는데.
Bono's camera control, not impressive. Really not impressed. That was very sloppy.
Maybe it's explaining something. But Bono now sitting at 1-0-1. You are definitely a big fan of making sure people have their cameras correct.
Yeah. You know, that was very, very slow. He could have been looking at many other things. But doesn't really
press
matter.
Tab nearly enough as well.
True, true. Yeah, a couple more F keys maybe.
Yeah. Could have
you know.
done that. So Hybrid and Secret make their way back into the lane. But aiming, he's got his Manamune done. So he went for the slower start, not collecting a Sheen early, but he's been rewarded for it. After, you know, winning a lane, getting more farm, but also being able to pick up that added assist. And now has sort of got out of that trough pretty early. As, yeah, look, we didn't have too many expectations out of the Kai'Sa, but she is still going to scale. See whether it's actually going to work out here as double pickaxe is being collected by Hybrid.
Well, at this point in the game, SP, they are behind. Still don't have their Rod of Ages on TF yet, which is very unfortunate. Not the end of the world, pretty much anywhere except in top lane. Smeb is honestly putting on a little bit of a clinic up there in the CS department. He's ahead by 33% almost. You like that?
I like the quick.
The numbers
Something I
made
can't
it a little
do.
easy, yeah.
Yep. Big fan.
Yeah,
Flawless going to come on over, puts himself down a little bit of a pillar. Otherwise, not too much is going to go on. And you see, the fact that, you know, Smeb's putting on that clinic, that's why he got delivered the Rift Scuttler and then was able to pick up a kill, right? And now the hard carry Crocodile, top side of the map, is a possibility. Going to be Black Cleaver coming in pretty soon. Going to be very useful into Ixu's Ornn. We'll see where he goes next. I mean, if he does want to, you know, continue side laning against an Ornn, Blade of the Ruined King could work on the Renekton. Don't know whether he's actually going to go there, though, as Death's Dance is so incredibly powerful. See where Smeb decides to take it.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Bono, he's just continuing to try to power farm up. Mountain's up in 1 minute and 20 seconds, and that's really big for both of these teams. SP obviously want to get it because it'll make it that much harder for Nidalee, Renekton, and Ezreal even, because Ezreal doesn't tend to build penetration at all. So even if it's a very small amp, it's still going to be very valuable. And around that dragon, I mean, KT should be the ones that have the leg up. We should assume that Black Cleaver's complete, which she's about to buy it right now.
Yep.
And, I mean, Ezreal's going to be in a really good spot. Ro is not going to have any stacks on it, realistically. There's not going to be a Sheen or anything on Mickey. And so this is going to be a very difficult team fight for SP to actually fight. I don't even know if Ornn's actually going to get to Sunfire Cape by the time this comes up.
Not to mention Hybrid, he's getting exhausted here towards the bottom side. True Shot Barrage only eaten by Secret there, but he still takes so much damage.
Holy.
Hybrid, though, that was a decent sidestep. It might have put him in the death chamber, though, but nope, able to create enough distance. Flash forward and aiming! Picks up the snipe kill with the Sheen proc. Beautifully done by KT's 80 carry, and aiming's on form today, and that is terrifying for SeolHaeOne Prince fans.
Yeah, and Bono feeling very happy in the player cam. They're going to allocate all this gold. Tom Kent, get out of the way. Hey, buddy.
I know.
This guy over here, honestly. Take a look at him. Take a look at this guy.
I know, it's Timothy walking in thinking he's still Sir Thomas.
Yeah, outrageous.
It is,
this
absolutely.
Guy.
We are going to be able to have a look at which soul we're going to get, whether it's going to be the Infernal or the Ocean. An opportunity to peer into what it's going to be, and Earth, Wind, and Fire will be upon us. Big fan. September, good month.
Well, the Infernal Dragon is pretty much exactly what they want to roll at this point. It'll help the Nidalee and the Ezreal so much.
Oh dear, Secret able to battle dance, so gets over to Hybrid. Still going to lose their blue buff though.
Yeah, they're going to lose the blue buff, and honestly, I feel like the way in which the lead has been obtained here for KT is making everything look really grim. I really don't know if SP are going to be able to come back in this, and the reason that I say that is because the third dragon, Ezreal, given his advantages, he will have that Muramana online. He might even have Trinity Force. He's 4 minutes away from it. He just picked up Stinger. So he doesn't need to actually come up with that much gold. So when you assume his GPM right now, it's very likely he might have it.
Yeah, and also that's the bigger 2-item power spike as well.
Yes.
Over that of the Iceborne Gauntlet. More of a 3-item build now with that one. And look at aiming, just knows exactly what he's capable of.
This is really Hybrid's fault at the end. He should keep staying in front of Trundle the entire time, using him as a meat shield, and instead just keeps clicking forward. But anyways, Kuro now going to shove in the wave. 4,000 gold lead with a mountain, and I really like the itemization that we're seeing out of Smeb. He's immediately going into some defensive stats.
Yeah, we'll see whether that's going to just be the boots. Might be some Merc Treads, but he also might be deciding that something like a Hex Drinker could be an option. When I see those items next to each other, I just assume they're going to go together, which most often does not happen. That could also be Death's Dance to be built towards. That would make some sense here in just how the league works at the moment. Feels like build Death's Dance, and then you're doing it right.
Well, we shall see what else ends up unfolding here. 3 minutes until the Infernal Dragoon is going to come up.
Is that a new class in Final Fantasy or something?
Did you ever play the Legend of Dragoon?
No. I heard good things about it, though.
Very, very good. Yeah, I don't know why I thought I don't know why I said Dragoon.
Because it's dragon. You just wanted to put an extra O on it.
Okay.
All right, as there's a shockwave. Max range as Mickey is going to flash. And see Smeb out of turret range and he's going to survive.
Yeah. Turret really just getting a little bit lazy right there.
Yeah, it really did.
Aiming, and Bono now going to be up here trying to raise this top tier 1. Teleport coming in from the alcove.
Yep, and there's Destiny as well, as the Ram is going to make his way out. Knock up only onto 1, but it should be the end of Bono there as he tries to pounce out, but he's unable to. Aiming very, very low and out of the fight right now, but Smeb is a gigantic crocodile, and Kuro's trying to control this battlefield. Flash has to be used by Ixu, and despite the fact that they got rid of aiming and killed Bono, SP still not looking like they have control.
No, they lose this fight. So even though they almost killed Aiming and they did successfully kill Bono, take a look at what it cost them. Count them 1, 2, 3, 4 flashes. Twisted Fate did spellbook one of those away, so it, he's trying to hide it. But it took 4 flashes, a teleport out of Horn, teleport out of Mickey as well, I believe. So all of these summoner spells, they do not have available now for the Infernal fight. Even if they would have gotten 2 or 3 kills, it would still be a loss, as weird as that sounds.
Grand entrance used by Secret, needed to get out of that one. But yeah, you're right. It's a lot of investment for basically 0 gain, other than just a single kill onto Bono. Unable to actually get any extra control, and in fact will lose this Rift Herald as KT continue their dominance over the early game.
Yeah.
Soul Point under a minute away. 3,000 gold is the lead. Smeb will extend that to about 4,000. Amy's going to go home and collect himself a Trinity Force. That Muramana you were talking about is already completed.
Yeah.
It's bad to worse.
I would actually really like to know his gold count right here. This might be, although he keeps clicking forward after the cannon, so I think that he doesn't have the gold, because it's just showing intention to stay. Then we take a look at the replay here. Now, I'm not really so concerned with what's happening in the fight itself, but I'm rather concerned with the intent of what SP is trying to do. This is a panic play where they think that investing to get a couple of kills, all of their summoners, is more valuable than having those summoners at the Infernal fight. Because the same amount of gold and the pressure that KT are about to exert by getting this Infernal, threatening Soul Point, is infinitely more valuable than the kills that they would get.
Well, see whether they can find any more here, as there's the knockback, but a 3-man shockwave from Kuro as he bounds over the wall. In goes Hybrid into the backline though, and they do manage to take down Aiming. Ixu's extraordinarily low, however, and KT, they still have enough damage to win out this team fight. Tucson avoiding the wild cards beautifully there as Mr. Timothy, and KT will get themselves to Soul Point, and Infernal Soul at that.
Yep. And that Infernal Dragon, super big. 4 in Italy. I would say Ezreal too if he would go Leandri's, but we're in LCK. But that would be massive if he would. You get the hybrid scaling. And I'm not talking about hybrid, the champion.
Yeah, he's on the other side.
Yeah, he's on the other side.
Although hybrid could also build a Leandri's. It wouldn't be synergizing with any Infernal Drakes unless they're able to turn the game around completely. As Shirley just decides, no. We're just going to walk away from this one. They think that KT are a little bit too far ahead. Shirley says that it's just not what's going to happen. As Ixu decides this is the time to fight, but I don't think it was.
Well, at this point in time, KT, I mean, they just collapse into the team fight. SP, they try to make something happen. They try to take advantage of an opportunity that they felt like they saw, ends up getting clapped for it. It's going to be Soul Point. They're down 5,000 gold. Ornaments are so far away as well. Ixu's not even 13 yet. There's no way he's getting 2 levels in 3.5 minutes.
And needs an extra item as well to make full use of it anyway.
Yeah, he doesn't even have Abyssal Mask. No one is going ornament items either.
You're not going to be able to give any items to anyone at this point. Ginsu's Rage Blade, unfortunately, does not have an upgradable option. There's another Shockwave, but Mickey's going to ghost out of it. But Kuro, when you can see an Orianna walking happily into the enemy's side of the map with, he had decent vision, but didn't exactly know where everyone was, it's when you know that you're in a very good position. So Orianna is definitely a champion that is dictated to by map control. KT certainly have it in spades. Zixu might be caught out of position here. Searing Charge will get him to relative safety. You can see the vision. Like, KT just owned this map entirely. Now pushing to try and take down this outer turret in mid lane. Secret going to get tagged by that Spirit. Relatively max range. Aegis of the Legion going to help him out, giving him a bit of that extra defenses. For KT, they have the poke advantage, they have the money advantage in spades. And also the items have really come in well for them.
Oh!
There's another shockwave. Flawless is going to get melted. Yeah, I don't know.
I think the thing that's been really flawless this game that he's been doing is the mistakes. I think that they have really been on point.
Okay. Don't know whether that's what you want to be doing. It's not the secret to winning League of Legends.
Atlas, I want you to say a positive thing right now.
I really like cake.
What kind of cake?
Well, my mum for my birthday would normally make Black Forest cake.
Okay.
I'm a big fan, and hers is the best.
Okay.
You know, I'm extraordinarily biased.
Well, let's watch Orianna bake a cake right here. So you put the ball in the center, you press the R button, and then Ezreal.
Yeah, just comes in and mystically turns it into cake.
Exactly. Perfect.
That's wonderful. I feel like we need a bard in the game for some reason. I don't know why. I know he makes cocoa more than cake.
Oh, there needs to be a birthday party bard skin now.
Definitely. Oh no, we need fiddlesticks.
Baker Bard.
Baker Bard.
Oh man.
We do have Baker Pantheon and a few other ones.
And he goes and gets cookies instead of chimes.
Yeah, that's super good.
Or cupcakes.
All right, ship it. Let's. We need to get in contact with the skins team again.
You know what I really miss? I haven't had it since I was a teenager, but which wasn't that long ago. That was all right. I know what you were thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what that feels like
it was less than a decade. Less than a decade for me, all right?
All right. Thanks.
You know?
There's no need to brag.
I know, you were thinking about before television had color, but...
Wizard of Oz is such a beautiful film.
I was thinking, well, I really want ice cream Death by Chocolate cake. That's really... When it's not really ice cream, it's just cold Death by Chocolate.
Yep, I remember that cake. Where that's a specific brand, isn't it? The Death by Chocolate cake?
Yeah, I think so. But it's so it's so good.
It reminds me of Matilda.
I've looked for it in Korea. They don't seemingly make it anywhere. It's very sad. Although
right, maybe we can import it somehow.
Yeah.
Figure it out. I'll get the recipe. When's your birthday?
September.
September? Perfect.
Yeah.
We got the exact right Drakes for your birth year as well, and we're talking about your birthday. This is fantastic. See whether we can get that Bard skin in time. Get the skins team onto it. KT are going to move to meet SeolHaeOne Prince here in the mid lane. Flawless down to half health once again. Feels like he starts off fights at basically nothing these days because the poke advantage is just too high for KT. Smeb waiting off to the side, looking for his moment to come in. Mickey doing exactly the same thing, but he's locked his gold card very early.
The worrisome thing here is KT's posturing with SP for no reason. They should just go over to the dragon, okay, they're doing it now. They have Nidalee started up. Yep. Destiny Gate's going to come in. This is the last hurrah, the final stand.
Yep, aiming's going to get devoured though. His Secret, he can't even engage anymore. He's just too low on health. Hybrid diving into the backline, but there's a beautiful exhaust, and aiming gets himself into the Dragon Pit. The rest of SeolHaeOne Prince, they just want to kill Smeb.
Dragon.
And in the meantime, KT are looking to lock down this Dragon. Flawless moves on over. It's going to be a 50-50 as Hybrid does take down Smeb, but the Drake is still going to go over to KT. That is Infernal Soul. Aiming is going to take down Flawless there as Ixu looking for a knock-up, but Tucson has another Devour, and Secret gets a knock-up on Aiming, but it's not going to be able to knock up the rest of the team, and now Aiming's able to pop off. It's going to be, not a full house, as it's going to be one of them stolen away. So two pair for KT is a double for Aiming, double for Kuro. KT looking to augment it with a Baron.
And Bono did a really good job at securing that Dragon. That was a very high-pressure moment, and this game is definitely over. I really can't imagine a world where SP come back. They don't even have ornaments going their way. They're not going to get access to any whatsoever. And so it's not even like you can say, well, Warden's giving them a lot of gold to make up for the deficit.
No.
Infernal Soul with a Mountain Dragon as well to help buff the resistances. Now, this was a really nice engage attempt, but Tushin had everything. Flashes over, exhausts Hybrid. And then Aiming, he gets into the pit. Now, this was very worrisome. I thought just immediately burst down the Infernal, but they actually delayed it a little bit. giving SP a little bit of time. Flawless in the pit, loses the smite. And this is very mentally tasking because this is 2 key smites he's lost.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, Ezreal is Ezreal's Iron Man here. There's just not really much that they can do. Flash not necessary by Nidalee there.
But sometimes you've just got to use it.
Oh, okay.
Flexing your muscles.
All right. Not a big deal?
Yeah, not a big deal. Not a big deal. At this point, they are so far ahead.
Why didn't you tell me, Alice?
Look, there's nothing to tell.
Alice.
Nothing to tell. I don't know.
What healing is on the enemy team here?
Subjugate. It's very important. Very, very important. Not to mention Grasp with the Undying. That is an entire keystone dedicated to getting health back.
Just gonna
taste the blood from Hybrid's rune choices.
빨간 팀의 포탑이
yeah.
파괴되었습니다.
It's fine. So take it away.
Secret. Secret's passive. His Gleaming Quill.
Yes,
also
yes.
able to offer a bit of healing there.
Yeah, I should have seen that one.
Yeah, that's all right.
All right. My apologies. Yeah.
Smeb split pushing on the bottom side as we do our best to attempt to not think about certain books. As Mickey's just taking poke, aiming, looking for the True Shot Barrage, but all he's going to do is pressure them away. As now, Ixu wants to take down Smeb. Seems like they're opted in for this one. They may just lose the game if they're trying to take him down, but they want to take a Crocodile with him. As yeah, he lives for quite a while. These Nexus turrets probably not going to be so lucky as Subjugate is ticking down onto Bono, but he takes a max range spear as Flawless. And that's going to definitely be a trade loss here for SeolHaeOne.
If it weren't for the minions inting and going on a bit of a vacation, the game definitely would have ended. Now, the unfortunate thing here for SP is that Smeb has teleport, and they are now down a lot of summoners. Look at Secret. He is trying to get the flank of the year.
Yeah, there's the quickness. He's going to... Oh. Whoa. Yeah.
Leave right back in.
Many well handled him. Mickey's going to be taken down. Aiming's going to put the last Mystic shot into him as now Ixu's trying to stand vigil next to his last remaining Nexus turret. But honestly, this game has been over for a little while now as we've ticked to the 11,000 gold mark. Smeb's going to teleport back in and try and get some revenge against these pesky SeolHaeOne Prince players. But the Nexus, it's going to be taken down, and KT will win a dominant game one in under 30 minutes. Definitely a bounce back here for a KT that were struggling in some of their other matches.
Well, a very big victory for them here in game number one, and also doing it in such dominating fashion that SP's mental could just be broken.
I mean, it looked broken halfway through that game,
yeah.
right?
Flawless is probably not in the best of emotions right now, given the way that the jungle ended up going.
And if we remember, I mean, Kumo has played one game for SeolHaeOne Prince in the jungle. He played Rek'Sai, and looked like it was not even as good as Flawless. So his mental's actually very valuable here for SeolHaeOne Prince, and we'll see whether they can turn it around as we move into game number 2. And KT, they did just look impressive, right? We're not necessarily referring to the draft as impressive, but they did pilot it to the best of their ability. They snowballed very effectively. And SeolHaeOne Prince just didn't have too much to offer, and I don't think the Kai'Sa Rakan are going to be winning too many points as far as their power level, because I believe that's Kai'Sa sitting at a 0-5 now in the LCK.
Well, we'll see how they manage to bounce back in game 2. I did give my player of the game over to Bono. And
I think there's an argument for Tucson as well. I think Tucson played really, really well on the Tahm Kench. I think his couple of devours onto aiming in that game-winning team fight around the Infernal Soul were extraordinary. But I think Bono also did, he got the right smites.
Yeah. I really want to point out that Smeb's damage chart at the end is not reflective of his level of play from early to mid. And this is a different kind of cut.
Yeah, it's a bit cool. As we're going to move over to the Korean broadcast. Just check out Sunkane. We did for a little while, and Cloud Templar over there. So I'm glad you guys got to see who's the talent of choice for the LCK for today's matches. But also, I'm looking forward to seeing what KT's got for us in game number 2. Because, yeah.
I want to see a wonky comp out of
Yeah.
SP. Because they have it in them, and I don't think that they're going to win on normal terms.
Let's do our best to try and get an Alawi, for goodness sake. Let's see whether SeolHaeOne and Prince can pull themselves back together after the break.